Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I'm on the main account. I want to show you why I was so keen to pick up NELDOR on my main account just the other day. I actually picked him up while I was trying to get the Archer Queen, which didn't go down so well. But NELDOR Rhyme Blade. Unfortunately, I don't have a blessing for him yet, but I will pick one up as soon as I can and give him the Phantom Touch because he is absolutely built for Finite Hard. And that's not actually just in dungeons, obviously. We've now got Finite Hard cropping up all over the place in the Cursed City, in Sintranos as well. So we do need to kind of bear his kit in mind for other areas. But it's just so damn good. So let me just talk you through what I've done with him and why he's so good. Firstly, triple hits. We know that a triple hit is going to help us break through the initial shield. But when we do break through the shield, each hit, 30% chance of placing a freeze. Books up to 40%, and you probably do want to book it if you're going to use him for Finite Hard. Now, I have not taken his masteries down the route of additional chances to freeze, but if you're on the edge of whether you complete that level or not, that's not a bad option. You could come into the mastery tree and pick up Fearsome Presence and get an extra 5% chance to freeze. It's not a bad option to take if you're struggling to land your stuff. The A2 then is a quad hit, so if you can open with the quad hit to break the shield and then start using the rest of his kit after, I think that's a good way to go. Again, 4 hits into a shield is brilliant. If you've got Phantom Touch as well, even better. Potentially 5 levels of that shield down the drain. For other stuff, though, decrease attack, decrease accuracy, they're pretty damn good debuffs. I can see this guy being used in Bommal really effectively as well. Bommal's not open right now, so I can't show you, but I think he will come into Bommal teams because the A1's 3 hits at random. So you could be firing off freezes on those side bombs pretty comfortably and then put a decreased attack and accuracy on the boss, which is a really good combo, I think. We've then got the AoE on the A3. So this is really good for wave control. So you're doing wave damage here, putting decreased speed on waves of enemies. So as you're getting towards the finite, you're taking down enemies with decent levels of damage. He doesn't hit crazy hard, but hits okay. But the decreased speed is a really nice debuff to land on your enemies. And he's healing while he's doing it. Again, in Finite Hard, you can't really allow anybody to hit you. You can't be hit. So it becomes a bit redundant in that. But if you're going to use him elsewhere, you know, it's not got a bad kit generally for other content. So you can kind of use this as a heal mechanic. Or if you pick him up earlier and you're just doing normal Finite, this is quite nice. But decreased speed on the boss is almost like a must-have. So if you can land it so that you break the shield, he then comes in and lands decreased speed, then you're laughing, honestly. This is the bit, though, that makes him basically a legendary in an epic skin. So whenever an ally places a freeze debuff, this champion's got a 30% chance to attack the target with their default skill. Something which I found out today in testing is if your champion was going to place a freeze, but the shield is up, then NELDOR's like, ha! Freeze, I'm coming in, right? So it's actually massive in terms of the initial breaking of the shield. If you've got Criodan, who I'm going to be using here, coming in with his A1 before you break the shield and it says debuff blocked, there's that 30% chance that he comes in with this passive even before freezes start to go on. It's absolutely massive in terms of consistency, because consistently breaking that shield and keeping it down is the hard thing with Finite Hard. It's actually not so much. Once you've got the fight under control, it's quite an easy fight. But getting the fight into an element of control is really difficult to do. So with my build, then I've gone for Giant Slayer for damage. But again, you might choose to go with additional freeze chances. I've gone for random ass gear, but it's Finite 10 specifically is very stat intensive. So I'm actually at 294 speed, but with the bonus, I'm at 304 speed. I tried to crit cap him. I made sure his accuracy was high enough to land his freezes and land the decreased speeds. And then I went damage. So the optimizer, I was like, give me the speed I need. Make sure I get the accuracy up. And then do me a damage build. So that's why we got a bit of a mishmash of gear. You know, trying to make sure that I get crit capped. Make sure that I still do some sort of damage on the waves. It's mainly the waves because our man Newt is in there for the damage on the boss. Criodan is coming in. He doesn't need Relentless Gear, honestly, but he's got it on, so I've left it on. Again, fast. So he's same sort of speed. He's got a similar build, honestly. This is the build I was using for some Cintranos stuff anyway, and he's kept it. Criodan doesn't really do a lot of damage, so definitely the priority is fast, high accuracy, rather than like the damage elements to his build. The damage elements help me beat the waves with some sort of speed, because without that, you'd be on the waves all day long. Criodan, though, will solo lock down the waves. Like, he's absolutely nuts. And because he's got freezes on his A2 and his A3, NELDOR's just coming in all the time. And because NELDOR's A1 hits at random on waves, these two together are insane. Like, literally freezes going off everywhere. Absolutely insane. And because we've got freezes going off, this guy's getting more turn meter. He's cycling through his abilities really quick. So yeah, it makes them a brilliant, brilliant combo. I'm then using, so you want 2 ally attackers for this comp to work. Preferably ones which bring more allies in. So I'm using my Longbeard, who currently sits in the vault other than this type of stuff. And I'm using Mikage. I definitely could use the Fat Man here. There's a whole bunch. Lonothoril I was using before I switched to this team. Lonothoril does a good job. He does some good AoE damage. He might even be better than my Mikage, honestly. I just thought she'd be cool to bring in because she's a bit more obtainable. And Lonothoril, if you did pick him up back in the day, does team up with all allies as well. So that's quite cool. Yeah, so Mikage here, obviously bringing ally attack and buffs. That's kind of it, really. She's got a single target A1. I was trying to squeeze in a Shadowkin faction champion. There's definitely a fast team that I could build using Genzin and using Mikage with Genzin, but I wanted to show off NELDOR for this video. So yeah, other than that, on wave, she does an AoE, so she does do a bit of damage, which means I did build her in a damage build. She's fast again, 293 before I get my bonus, so 303. You know, these are all going to be fast. We're talking the hardest content in the game to try and get this done. And then my Longbeard here, again, mishmash gear. I do have him with some damage in his build because he can hit quite hard. So with him, similar sort of thing again. Fast, 300 speed. Good accuracy, so he gets his weaken out on the boss. And then, yeah, just made sure that he'd land everything else. And then my Newt is in some of my better gear, honestly, for a defense-based nuker. So he, with his bonuses, is at 292 speed, crit capped, defense and crit damage in his build. And then he's also got accuracy, because I use him in other areas as well. But he actually doesn't... Oh, yeah, he does need accuracy. He needs accuracy for his A1. So yeah, his A1 landing freezes all the time. NELDOR's got a chance to come in with him. Blessed Bash is where the damage comes from to speed the run up. And I've got him with Soul Reap because that's what I've been using him with in other content. Again, if you're struggling to break the shields down, you just put everybody with Phantom Touch. Yeah, Phantom Touch is the one that will get the job done here. He's got Giant Slayer, War Master. He's got the Fearsome Presence to try and make his freezes land more often. And let's give you a show what's going on. I've done a ton of testing here because I found that it was failing at times until I started slightly tweaking speeds for order of hits and tweaking skills for when skills will be free. So it's really important that you watch this bit with some detail because otherwise you might find you get some fails. And what I was looking at here is round one, pretty much do what you like. So use your AoE when you can because that's where a lot of damage is for you. And use your Blessed Bash when you want to, sort of thing. Criodan, just use your freeze when you can. NELDOR, use your AoE when you can. Yeah, so it's just basic stuff. But for round two, we're saying Longbeard, don't use your ally attack. We definitely need that at the start of the boss fight. Same thing with Lady Mikage. Round two, don't use your AoE, your ally attack because we want you to use it for the boss part. NELDOR, open with your A2 if it's available, but then don't use it again because we want you to open with that. He's slightly faster than my ally attack champions. Yeah, so in fact, he's my fastest. I want him to open with the 4-hitter, break some shield down so that when we come in with our first ally attack, there's a good chance we break the whole shield. And then when we come in with our second ally attack, there's a good chance we knock that turn meter right the way down so that I can then say to Newt, feel free to go with Blessed Bash. Yeah, so actually I should have that on first choice. Yeah, so feel free to come in with your Blessed Bash once that gets going. That's how you're going to do your damage. So yeah, NELDOR important to A2, give me my 4-hitter. If I add Phantom Touch on him, it'd be even better. And then after that, so once we've broken the shield, I want you to put decreased speed on. That's important as well. Criodan, just open with your A1 so that we get the triple hit in nice and early. And the other thing that's important here is the order of positioning. So your freezers need to be at the back order of your team so that when you're breaking that shield with everybody, the people most likely to knock turn meter back, and Newt is easily the best at this, they need to be at the back of your team. And then you'll find you get way more consistency of run. So let me show you this through. And then we just get AoE hit. Unfortunately, there's no consistent freezy type champion that does a drop defense. And that means that waves are generally quite slow. So what I would love, I am going to try out some sort of Genshin action, but that's going to be even harder to obtain builds than what I'm showing here, honestly. Super fast builds, because then you won't be bringing in 2 ally attacks. It'll be more like a reset type of team. Looks super fun, though. Looks like a really cool team. So I'm going to have a go at building that probably over the next week or so and try and get like a real fast finite hard 10 team. You can see here, but it's normally between 30 and 40 seconds to clear the first wave. It's basically similar for second wave as well. As I say, we're never, ever in any sort of risk on the waves. And something I do love about NELDOR is his animations for his supported A1 attack. It's super fast. You know, he doesn't run in there, do dilly-dally, and no. Super quick. He just gets it done and says, yeah, I helped you out. So it's really useful. Just see him do it there. He's like, quick, lash out. So for me, this is actually quite slow at this point, but it is very random in terms of, you know, am I hitting, I don't know, am I getting War Master hits off and that type of stuff? That's generally how we speed this up. But 1 minute 30 onto the boss. Now you'll see here, NELDOR comes in with his A2, quad hits. We then get the triple hit from Criodan. We didn't get the additional hit, but we might have done. It's just random whether that 30% thing lands. Second ally attack, breaks the shield early. Then all of my freeze champions come out the rear and give me a bit of turn meter drop already. We then go A1 with the NELDOR support, decrease speed. And at this point, it's just then, we're now in control of the fight. So Blessed Bash can go in, and we're just trying to drop turn meter with any sort of freeze mechanics that we can get away. Trying to come back round to the ally attacks, which gives us tons of control. NELDOR A1, and again, and it's like that. There's now 0 risk of this being a fail, and we're just waiting for the Blessed Bashes to come back again and again. Very cool team. I've done it in 2 minutes 30 odd as my best, with exactly the same setup and everything. So just kind of comes down to a bit of RNG stuff on the. It's mainly the waves, really. It's mainly the waves in terms of speed. If I had refresh accessories, then that could be quite cool and Newt, I guess, just to try and get back to this bash. This one's going to be 2 minutes 50 odd. There's the Soul Reap, and bam, pretty quick for finite hard 10 with 2 epics, a fusion champion, another fusion champion, and then another ally attack. In terms of the damage, NELDOR coming in second highest. Obviously, Newt does most of the damage because of the boss, but in terms of the waves, NELDOR's up there doing more damage than Newt. So Newt's doing all of that on the boss. But yeah, super cool team. NELDOR is really, really useful. And as I say, when we get onto Bommal, a Bommal setup, I guess maybe I could show it actually in Sintranos, like early levels. Yeah, I mean, maybe this works. I've got a load of negative affinity dudes in here, but it's only literally like the early levels of Sintranos, so it should be good. All I'm thinking is we would probably just try and drop his speed as early as we can. Ally attack in. I mean, I've got well-built champions here, so I don't know if it's how relevant this is to show you, honestly, but weak hit there. Nice. Raw guard. So I'm thinking here, like if I A1 a left-hand bomb, I've got a chance to freeze it, but then randomly I've got a chance to hit elsewhere as well, which is quite cool. Again, do that here. On auto, what I've noticed is he likes to A2 these bombs for some reason. He feels like, oh yeah, I really need to A2 that bomb, which I can do nothing to. So that's a bit dumb, but what the hell. What are you going to do about it? So, yeah, A1 there. Got freezers on all of these. So now we've got a good chance of living at least through the bomb damage. And that's the thing. It's just can you live through the bomb damage against Bommal? If you can deal with that, then the rest of it is achievable, really. Try and reapply this. Decreased speed, decent damage. See, Apothecary's in there just for a bit of healing. Do we get a weak hit? No, we got an actual good hit. Okay. I can A2 here and destroy some of his attack. And you get the idea. Look, I know I've got a stronger team probably than what you're going to be using. So I don't know how relevant this is to people that are watching, but it gives you an idea that at least he's going to be bringing some use to your squad. And yeah, and decent amount of damage in that as well. So he definitely will be an answer for some people in Bommal. Anyway, NELDOR, really, really cool epic. Great addition to the game for quite specific content, but I really like him. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.